Welcome everyone to BPW Goes Digital. This initiative is to bring BPW into a digital era. It is initiated by Dr. Ann Hilty and myself, along with the presenters and trainers who are young BPW members from across the globe. The topic for today is Blog for BPW Communication, and the presenter is Opeyemi Adeneye. She is a young BPW member of BPW Nigeria. She's an interior designer who has worked with one of the best interior design firm in Nigeria, IO Furniture Limited. She left IO Furniture Limited in 2014 as a senior interior designer, where she coordinated a team of young dynamic interior designers, architects, and installers to establish Alari Interiors, a furniture making interior design company incorporated in 2016. Before this, she worked in one of the largest financial institutions. Her goal in the next few years is to establish Alari Interior Limited as one of the leading interior design firms certified to deliver a full bouquet of sustainable interior designs and consultancy solution on all levels. With this, I would like to welcome our speaker. Now the floor is all yours.
Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. My name is Opeyemi Adeneye from the BPW. I'm from the BPW of the Lekki chapter here in Lagos, Nigeria. And BPW Goes Digital. That's what we're here about. The blog for BPW Communication. How does a blog help us? How does it make us more efficient, more effective? And how does it make us foster unity among the sister clubs, and also become better in general as an organization, especially in this period of the pandemic, where everything is literally digital now. So our goal generally is to move BPW to a point where we can work online and still have a club that functions to its optimal. So I would start with, what is a blog? A blog is a regularly updated website where new content is frequently published, typically written in an informal or conversational style, often with the goal of attracting readers and achieving some sort of goal, whether community building or growing a business. And in our case, we're more or less doing community building, fostering unity among the members of the club. So generally, even with Wikipedia, it gives definitions like what you have on this image. A blog is an online journal or informational website displaying information in the reverse chronological order, which means we're starting from the back, the front to the back, or the back to the front, literally. So I started a blog in 1992, and here in 2020, what you will see first is what I've written in 2020. So it's reverse chronological order. I just want to give us the basics of what a blog is and why a blog is so important, especially in the times that we are in right now. So blogging started in the early 1990s and was officially coined weblog, which quickly became shortened to blog in 1997 by John Barger, an American blogger. So we'll find those definitions and all of that even on Wikipedia, more of that to give you just a general idea of what it means, of what a weblog is. History of blogging from 1993 to today and beyond. So if you look at this, I have them in points just to give us more clarity on an understanding really of what a blog is. So in 1993, a gentleman, Rob Palmer, writes a quarterly publication for the company that he works for and posts it on their website. So generally, he is known to be the first blogger, but there are a lot of contentions on that. But as recorded, Rob Palmer seems to be the first person. And then we went on to 1994, personal blogging, born by 19-year-old Justin Hall, where he was writing, general little things about his everyday movements and things he was doing. 1997, the word weblog was coined, again, quickly shortened to blog. And in 1998, Open Diary was born. That's a platform that allowed people to place a place to share their thoughts and ideas while allowing others to comment on it. So basically, it became like the first Instagram or Twitter where there's actually a back and forth between people. 2003, it changed forever when WordPress, which is a large blogging platform, was created by two college students. And it's interesting to note, that it says two college students, two young people. 2007, microblogging emerged with the emergence of Twitter. 2016, WordPress opened up, and so on and so forth. Now, 2020, we have approximately 70 million new posts being published every month on WordPress. In 2019, Twitter, which is a microblogging platform, the size of the audience was projected to have reached 275 million active users monthly. And Instagram, as of now, has already surpassed the 1 billion mark. Before we go to who is a blogger and what they do, the importance of blogging cannot be overemphasized because it is what happens in our everyday lives. People want to be involved in the little things. People want to be able to share information on an informal basis. And that is why all of these platforms have literally blown up, from Twitter to Instagram to WordPress. So how useful is it for us? The more we talk about it, the more you begin to realize that blogging itself is a platform or is a tool that BPW can use to not only foster growth, but also bring together people and increase awareness of the club to the right target market. So who is a blogger and what do they do? A blogger creates fresh, original content that is consumable by the masses at no charge. Just like we explained earlier, it appears in reverse chronological order with the archives, dating back to whenever the blogger started this journey. Bloggers offer information in digestible, delicious bites. That's important because who wants to listen to something that is long and boring? You want something that is short, precise, and straight to the point and gives you what you're looking for. That's what a blog offers. And that is what bloggers do. Fresh content that is regularly updated. A blogger is constantly in search of new angles to topics that concern the blog and spends time putting it together in a form that catches the attention of the target audience. So it's usually specific. What a blogger does is specific to what they are presenting, to the message that they're trying to put out, and they design the blog around a core topic. They branch out once in a while, but the blog itself is designed around the core topics, the core topic of the blog. So the blog for BPW Communication, how do we use a blog for BPW Communication? We have I know that there is a website for the international BPW group, and a couple of other BPW groups have their own websites too. So there is already a platform for us to create a blog. Now, by adding a couple of more pages, we could establish a blog functionality on the website as it is already. And what do we use this for? Basically, everything is still to highlight the vision and the aim of the club. We want to create dynamic elements that deliver new information on an ongoing basis that engages existing members and attracts the interest of non-members. I was listening to one of the blogging programs, one of the programs that was done. I think it was LinkedIn for BPW. And the lady on that program, or the lady on the interview, was saying she got into BPW via LinkedIn. So she entered BPW from a platform that was basically on the web. And that is what a blog can do. If your blog is engaging enough, you get people who are able to identify with what you represent and then be a part of it. So we're not just trying to engage just existing members. We're trying to create something that attracts the attention of like-minded people, and they can be a part of the process of BPW. A website would also help the organization to rank higher in online search. Now, whether that is conscious or it's not conscious, having a blog would help it. And I mean, that's not a bad thing either way. Now, the blog platform can also be one where the president, executives, and selected individuals in general make announcements, explain or clarify policies, engage with club members on an informal tone, or react to public criticism on certain issues. It's it's a big deal because it's not just a letter from the president or a publication from the vice president. It's an informal interaction where you're able to speak to your audience and also get feedback if you want, you know. So that helps a lot to break down the barriers and also to help kind of like demystify certain roles that people hold so that we are all approachable to one another, but on a platform that still allows for personal space. That's the word. The platform that still allows for personal space. So blogs can come in various forms. They can be personal blogs, corporate blogs, organizational blogs, blogs that are single authored or multi-authored. Now for BPW, I would generally propose a multi-authored blog in line with, you know, the points that I mentioned the last time, where you could have more than one person deliver information or share something, and even on various topics, you know, that are in line with what BPW stands for, you know, and to help to do that. So as a multi-author platform, which encourages blogging from more than one individual and also on various topics. Okay. Now, BPW is all for development of its members. And if we have a platform that encourages or showcases the skills of the member of the team and is able to celebrate them as authors and writers, you also give an opportunity for development. And that's the last point. Sorry, I jumped, but it kind of links to the one before. So I wanted to just make that point. You know, and then as an informal window to the culture of the club, people who are wondering, a lot of us who came into BPW, we had what you call an orientation. So it could be a platform that helps to orientate young people who don't even know what the club is about. You come in and you see that there is a culture there that fosters friendship, unity, growth, development in an informal way. And that can be done through a blog. Now, basically, if you're talking about corporate or organizational blogs, it is not a about me blog. It is something that showcases thoughts of leaders and communicates views on industry issues. So again, it's not going to be a blog where we are having personal thoughts or personal journeys or personal stories. What we are doing is trying to advocate for what BPW stands for in a way that is more informal than would be if it was just a static website. So a blog gives us all of those options. Also to note that platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are all microblogging platforms. And on the main blog, if the group or the club decides to have a blog, on the main blog, we could have links that connect people to the various platforms, other social media platforms that the club has, and just help people be able to navigate or access us on all of those various platforms. I think there is also the tool that allows for you to post on one platform and then it's replicated in all the other platforms. So there is uniformity in information that is going out, and there's accessibility. So you don't necessarily have to go to the website. You could go to Twitter and get a shortened version of the blog. You could go to Instagram and see some videos that link you back to the main blog. All of those things just help generally to make it easier for us to communicate the kind of culture that we feel BPW, you know, has. So how do we achieve dynamism and keep the blog engaging? One of the biggest things I've learned about blogging is the fact that it is constantly evolving, and you cannot have a blog that is not dynamic, that doesn't change its content or have new content to serve to people. That is what is exciting about a blog. Other than that, it might as well be a website. A few simple rules. Understand your audience so you know how to help them. you might not always be rendering help. Sometimes it might just be storytelling that you're giving, but you need to understand your audience. So you won't go on LinkedIn and post pictures about your holiday travels, or something that doesn't have anything to do with your professional life. So because LinkedIn has an audience, and that audience is for the professionals. So understand your audience. Who are you talking to, and how can you help them? How can what you're giving benefit them? Create a blog your readers will want to come back to. Very important. You can use a combination of one or more forms of media: photographs called photo blogs, videos, blogs, music, MP3 blogs, audio podcasts, art, whatever it is, but it has to be engaging. Create a blog that people want to keep coming back to. Publish content that is so good that people want to tell the world. So we want everyone to know BPW to be a club that is full of people who are interesting, people who are like-minded, people who are progressive. So let's publish content on it that will tell people this is the quality of people that BPW carries. Write the right headlines. We want to catch people's attention. We don't want them to come in on the website to see the blog and not want to engage immediately. Put it out there. Sometimes it could come in form of a question. Sometimes it could come in form of a ridiculous topic. Like how BPW helped me make my first million. I'm sure people will rush down into the blog to see what it was that BPW did, to help you get to that point. So put the right headlines in place so that it helps to draw people. Then there are little things like mentioning other bloggers in your content and linking to their articles so that you have a continuous chain where people also link people to your own blog. Write newsworthy topics and be the first to jump on trends. So we're literally looking to be a community where we're the first, going ahead, having information there before anyone else, so that when people look for those information, our names come up first. Publish content as often as your audience can consume it. Again, as I said, a blog, most importantly, or first and foremostly, has to be dynamic. If it's not dynamic, it's a website. If your content is not constantly evolving, you're going to lose the attention of your audience. And that's important. Without an audience, it's not a blog, it's a website. Publish different types of content. Offer your readers helpful tips for free. Ask questions. For me personally, one of the biggest advantages of having a blog on the website of a community like BPW is for that balance of, oh, I need to know what I can do. I need to know where I can go. Imagine you went to India and you needed to access, a BPW member in India. Even a blog would be a good place for you to go and ask questions, because it's a back and forth. You ask questions, people also ask questions, and you get answers. We need to also be able to respond to comments so that we keep, the wheels turning on the blog. Comment on other blogs in your niche. Build a presence on forums and communities where your audience hangs on. That's basically a work that the blogger would, the administrative group of the blogging platform would do. Contribute to other blogs with an engaged audience. Be consistent. Consistency is important, so people know that when they come to you, they will get something new, something fresh, and something that takes them closer to their professional goals in terms of BPW. So we don't just want to put up our programs. We don't just want to tell people this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it. We also want to help people grow. And if there's consistency in what we're putting out, then you have more people coming. You have more likes, you have more engagement, and ultimately you have clarity both from existing members and non-members who would like to be a part of BPW. So one of the most important things in establishing a blog is the layout. I'm just going to run through this very quickly because, if we eventually decide to use a blog, we would still have to go into the details of this. But just generally, so that we have in our heads, just a picture of what it is to have a blog layout. Have fonts you can read. I've put up examples here. We have Arial, EB Garamond, Josephine Slab, Helvetica, New, Georgia. Not the fonts that I have on my slides. These are slides, so it's okay. But if you're going to be putting up articles on a blog, you want something that nobody's going to find a problem with. It's going to be easy for people to read, clean lines, and all of that. Organize the blog for easier access. So let your layout be clean. Design your blog post to be easily scannable. So somebody picks up their phone or picks up their computer, they want to look at your blog and just scan through quickly. It should be easily scannable and should be able to catch their attention quickly before they move on, from there. Utilize high quality images for graphics for your work. Consider page loading time. What usually makes people want to go away from a page is because the images are too heavy, the videos take a long time loading. So we want things that would load easily and quickly, both on platforms like the laptop and the phone, on your iPad or your tabs. So consider all of those things. Call to action. Now, the blog is to serve people, yes, but it's also to serve the community, to serve the club. We need to know definite things that we're trying to achieve with the blog. We want to grow our community. We want people to be more engaging. We want people to be able to ask more questions. What are the call to actions that the blog itself is supposed to promote? It has to be clearly stated on the blog in some way or the other that does not seem like as if you are compelling people to do something. So if we look at what we have down here, I'll just enlarge this. Oh, okay. I'd like to enlarge this image for us to have a look at quickly. So it says, we're all in the battle against COVID-19 together. A message from Jamie Williams, Wilderness Society president. And then there is the bar that says more. That is what you call a call to action. You want people to go and click to get more information. So our call to actions have to be very, very clear, and they have to be compelling enough for people to go there and, do what it is we want them to do. There's a fine line between being creative and being cluttered. I have examples up here. There are so many things to consider. If you would go into our BPW Going Digital folder on YouTube, we have a very clear interview where one of our members was discussing graphic design. She talked about having white space and having balance and, weight and lines and all of that. It's very important because people are drawn to what they see, visual. We have to encourage engagement by various ways. And if we see people are not getting engaged and we have an issue like on the right side of my screen, usually this comes up when you're in a website and they want to know whether what they offered you helped you. Sometimes you have to say yes, or sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no. Now, if you say no and leave it at that, we don't really know what the reason for it not being helpful is. So coming down to this next image, we say, sorry about that, how can we improve? So we want people to be able to engage us on feedback from what we posted as a blog, but also engagement in terms of how can we do better? What can we do better in general? Brand your blog layout, make your blog layout relate to your audience, That's important. We've discussed that on the last few points. And then just blog layout examples to learn from when designing your blog. So all of these things and more would help us be able to establish the kind of blog that would reach out to the sort of people that we're looking to reach out to, just so that we're not just going on and on and on. What are the benefits of a blog to BPW? There are so many benefits, but I'll just pick a few of them. Now, customized content. Customized content means what it is, we're putting out the information that we want to put out, crafted by ourselves on a platform where people can access it and then get more information about us. It's customized. It's not general. It's not generic. is specific to what it is we want to speak to them about, and it's informal. So it's not too formal, it's not too stuffy, it's not too straight and narrow. It's a bit more relaxed, more fluid, and it gets the message across. Storytelling, we're telling a story about who we are, what we stand for, what we have in us, what are the values that we possess, and how we want to be able to share that with the world. It's a no-brainer. It gives us access to one another on an easy level. Readers become evangelists. Now, it's interesting to me because we all do it. We get good service from somewhere. We get great information from someone. We get a light bulb moment because we were in a particular place and we want to share that information with everybody. That's what a blog should be able to do for you. So if we're hitting all the right spots with our blog, our readers become our evangelists, telling people about what BPW stands for and how they can also become involved. It's easy to share. So instead of asking a person to search for www.bpw.com or /international or whatever, a link is easy to just send to someone's website and say, oh, I saw this article on a particular website, and you could follow this link and you go there straight. So it's easy to share around, it's easy to spread the word using a blog. It's also visual. So people come in there and they can see already what you represent. If again, you hit all the right spots, if you get it right. And then for me, more importantly, or even most importantly, is to foster a closer bond between sister clubs as divides are broken through a unified platform. So whether we decide to have one platform on the international level or all the various clubs decide to have their own individual blogging platform, it still serves the same purpose. We are able to bring ladies together on a unified platform. Now, for example, in Nigeria, we probably have more than 20 BPW clubs. And so what we want to do with a blog, we want to be able to unify everybody. We want a platform where the BPW members from Lagos can comment on an article written by a BPW member in Kano, or even comment on an article written by a BPW member in Netherlands, and have an engagement one with another on an informal level. So for me, that is one of the biggest benefits of the blog, because what we foster among one another eventually spills over to what people see and want to become a part of. Thank you for giving me your time today. I hope I've been able to convince you that in this digital era, the blogging platform is one of the tools that we have to use as BPW to communicate with one another and ensure that we are ahead of the game always. Thank you for listening.
I want to thank our speaker, Opeyemi of BPW Nigeria Leke Club, for a wonderful presentation on blogging and the use of the blog as a primary communication tool for BPW. This is something we can all really consider deeply, because whether you're the club, federation, or international level, this could be a very dynamic, engaging, and multiply varied way to communicate everything, as well as inviting comments or feedback, which would be a two-way communication. So thanks again to our great speaker in this video. We thank you, our viewers, for coming to yet another video in the BPW Goes Digital series, and please share them with your BPW friends and colleagues. Please check out our other videos on this channel. We have an ever-growing channel, and we're adding to it every week. And we also have 2 to 3 live webinars each month, so we invite you to join us in one of those and be part of the audience. All the information can be found below this video. So please come back and see us again and again as we upgrade BPW to the digital era. Thanks so much. Bye for now.